Welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. Just logged in. All right. So, important discussion today for me, anyways. Why I'm choosing to keep Final Fantasy my main. I think it goes without saying but I'm gonna say it. The gaming industry has gotten a little greedy and a little bit bullshit associated with the quality of performance and other things that are going on in content and whatever. A lot of World of Warcraft players currently are in limbo due to BFA, Activision's influence on Blizzard. It's been a nightmare for the WoW players. I feel more for those guys because a lot of World of Warcraft players are completely invested. I mean, so invested. And now it's like, wow, okay, Satasha. Wow. Okay. So, and two new players. Three new players. That's cool. I should have grabbed my, well, I'll get max, so it's fine. Okay, he's got it. But anyways, the way I'm currently, like, I'm gonna say this. God, I always love it when I see some of these fucking details. Currently, I've never played this game up until January. Didn't. Okay, I honestly can tell most people I never touched Final Fantasy. I just never did. And the thing about it is, I was looking for a game. Now, don't get me wrong, and I'm going to talk about the pros and cons. I was looking for a game that had performance. At the end of the day, I got tired of paying for a game that just had terrible, no matter how much I loved the game, that had terrible performance issues. And I loved Elder Scrolls, and there's a lot of games out there that I really like. But sometimes performance, man, it's just a make or break, right? And when your patience runs thin and the performance just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, it's like, what am I supposed to do? You know, frustration is going to affect all of us sooner or later. And when you put in as much time as I did in Elder Scrolls, it is even way more frustrating. Because it's like, I played on 3 platforms, over 30 tunes, thousands of hours, and it's like, what do you guys want from me? Do you guys want me to lie to you? Do you want me to tell you that this game has no problems? Well, that's bullshit, because when I'm streaming, it's becoming more evident about the problems. I'm falling into the map. I'm getting consistent long load time. I did a stream with an 18-minute load screen. 18 minutes on a stream. It's like, come on, man. I can't do it anymore. I mean, and then you have to ask yourself, some of the best content creators that Elder Scrolls has ever had has left the game. Has left. Cypher PK, ring a bell. Delta, ring a bell. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. I mean, it's like, listen, man. Even Fang Rush had to take a break. Honestly, guys, I mean, I don't like leaving a game that I'm very fond of, but if it's going to make me a better player and be a happier player, then that's what I'm going to do. And there are a lot of games out there But I am tired of supporting companies that don't give a shit about their customers, who don't give a shit about anything but making a profit. And it's like, there's money to be made, but when you literally are putting that in front of, I always tell I always reference my grandfather. My grandfather said, you do right by customers, and you build a relationship with your customers. Your customers will stay loyal. Because why? Because you offer them the service that they deserve, right? And that's what all customers are looking for. They're looking for reliable service that they can depend on. And he's like, and if you can do that, you will maintain your customers. That's part of retention. That's how I learned about retention. And I agree, man. I totally, wholeheartedly agree. Like, you have to literally learn how to treat customers. And I feel like companies these days are forgetting that, how to treat people. Check this out. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm sticking with Final Fantasy for now anyways, until whatever, because I like the game, I'm enjoying it, and the performance is good, and I feel Square Enix is doing good things. Now, there was a recent post by a viewer of mine about world transfer, and I don't know what's up with that, so I hope there kind of gets some resolution to that, because that's kind of a concerning thing. But, now, is this game perfect? I'll be the first to tell you no. Okay? One of the things, I like the performance, right? I like the community. The PvP needs help. Serious help. That's one of the drawbacks to Final Fantasy XIV. Okay? There's your drawback. The PvP needs a lot of TLC. So, and will it ever be good PvP? If they haven't managed to figure it out by now, it's doubtful they will. So I'm not holding my breath in that regards. Another thing we have a problem with is like after you get to a certain point in the game, the MSQ. The MSQ can be really long. So for a lot of players, they're really like kind of not expecting what the MSQ really is. And the MSQ is lengthy, very lengthy. It's good though. I mean, it's a good storyline. So I will say that. So it kind of has a pro and a con within itself. It's like, it's a really good story, but it's really friggin' drawn out. I feel like some of the fetch questing in between the MSQ makes it just a little bit, you know, more a pain in the butt to get to these really good plot twists. But once again, there's always pros and cons. But it's very linear, right, in its progression. Story, dungeons. After a while, you feel like any other MMO. It's rinse and repeat. It's like, okay, well, I just did this, so I'm going to do it again for what? Grinding for your gear. So you're trying to get your tokens, your tombstones, and you're trying to unlock gear. So it can almost feel repetitive. Even if you get harder content, there's just pretty much fluff, and it kind of has that feel that traditional MMOs are associated with. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just like what keeps you engaged in that content. For, you know, does it have replayability to you? You know, that becomes the question. And like I said, I mean, Elder Scrolls will always be, it kept me the longest. Like, can I even say that Final Fantasy here will keep me as long as Elder Scrolls? I can't even say that. But currently, I'm choosing this as my main MMO. Because why? Because of performance. Nothing more. It's just like I'm paying for quality that I'm getting. I'm paying for the quality, the content that I'm getting. And there's nothing more complex than that. I get to play. I don't get to roll. I don't have to roll alt. I don't have to play the content all over, the MSQ all over again. And it's like, okay, that actually is pretty cool to me right now. That I don't have to redo everything from scratch. So it comes back. Did somebody get the friggin' key? No. It's like, whoa, I need the key, man. Now, I know a lot of people were pissed because I did a video yesterday. Actually, I got 10 likes and only 9 dislikes. Go me. But, like, calling out him. Alright. Now, my ISP is messing up. At the end of the day, I know a lot of people are mad about, oh, well, I'm like, listen, man, I'm presenting evidence. Can you argue it? Can you argue the facts? That's all I'm asking. All right. There we go. And I'll give it up to the bard. Gave it up to Dragoon last time. Healers always get it, so. Oh yeah. Let's see. Interesting. All right. Clear. I already got the leveling one done yesterday thanks to Hercules. By the way, Hercules, I hope that works out, brother. Oh, shit. Okay. Was quicker than anticipated. But yeah, I'm sticking with this game for a while. I don't see myself leaving anytime soon. Black Desert, I love Black Desert. Right? I like Black Desert. Problem with Black Desert, very, very grindy. So grindy, it just hurts. And it's like, oh my god, I can't do that. And then they have, I think, Bless Unleashed coming out on Xbox. It's in beta right now. It looks good, but Bless Online didn't do so hot. So I don't know what to think about Bless Unleashed. I don't know. I'm not opposed to playing an MMO on Xbox. I've played MMOs on Xbox, so I'm hoping it does well. But to cater to one game that's limited on one platform isn't what this channel's about. This channel's about being exploring the games that are on multiple platforms like PC, PlayStation, Xbox. If I play a game that's limited, then I always say, like, Black Desert was limited, but I knew it was coming. I knew it was going to be showing up on those other platforms, so that's why I covered it. I forgot the macro that or something. Like this, I think this was the same dungeon I did. Like, sometimes you never know what dungeons you're gonna get, but then other times you're just like, okay, well, the likelihood. Oh, shit. All right. All right. Let's go. Get off. no, no, no. That's good. Good play. Oh my god. Okay. Let's see. I think I only got one more to do before reset. So let's switch it up. And let's go with the summoner. It's been a minute since I was on him. Now, also, whoa. I'm still about 50,000 short of my regalia. I will have that by, I'm hoping by this weekend. Hoping. There's my 9. Nine's in the middle. There's 1. So I'm going to take this. Take this one. And I think we're good to go here. Or not. Same. Alright. Here. Perfect. All right. Got those ones out of the way. It's a 9 minute. You know, I could probably afford to do the Air Force One. So let's go do that really quick. Just for the mini game. Go. That's an easy 3,000 MGP. Let's go. I think it's almost a perfect score. Easy 3K. And then tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow is the judging cost, the one judging for the weekly. All right, now let's see. Got one more to do. These, there they are. All right. sure. Mm. Earth and lightning. All right. Looks good. Right here. There's only one left. My Manjan. Give me 8K. That's tomorrow. Friday. What game is that? Any way the wind blows. 920. Alright. All right.
Forward! Forward!
I knew I was gonna die. I'm like, you didn't get a heal. I'm dead, man.
I shan't hold back!
Wow, this healer. Good shit.
You underestimate me! Out of my way!
This day you die!
God, this healer sucks. Oh, thank you. Alright. Last phase. Alright. Mark, what's up, Mystic? How do you run a gaming company? Teach me. What are you talking about, Mark? How do you want to know how to run a gaming company? It's like running any other company except you're more versatile at one other element. I think that you yeah, just first thing I would recommend is go to business school if you're going to learn how to run any company or get a good education in business. Okay? That's the first thing I would recommend to anybody. So if you're trying to come here and troll, I would tell you to get an education. Do you need a college education? Well, no. Experience goes a long way too. Experience is a big, big factor. How do you run any company? You got to understand the principles behind a company before you can run it, right? But then you have the opposite effect also. You have people who are good at producing, but terrible at leading. I've always said, to a lot of people I've worked with, you can be good at production, but then you're bad at management. But then you have people who manage, right? And they can't do anything to really help with production. Then you have those people that are kind of in between, right? They're good at production, but not the best. But then they're really great leaders. And I always tell people there's pros and cons to every person, Mark. And you have to know that. That's the way it is. You want people that are hungry, though, ambitious, and understand business models. Very in depth. And if you don't know how to run it, Mark, first thing I would tell you to do, if you want to get involved in learning principle of coding, get into like testing if you can, close testing. I'm talking like get a PC, look for companies who are looking for close testers, like alpha testers who work with the development team to bug hunt. Get familiar with C++ coding. Everything in the gaming industry is C++. All of it. All of it. Then get familiar with the different type of server infrastructures that are configured for gaming or hosting games. Okay, those are some of the technical things you can start getting involved with. If you really want to get familiarized with engines. You don't have to be a software engineer. You can just get familiarized with the engines and how that code applies, different tool sets. Just get involved, man. Then start getting understanding of business. My wife, I'm a college dropout. My wife has a degree in business. We have a similar background. We worked together before too. So she would even tell you that there's a lot to understand with like education and then practical application. She would even tell you that. But now she's a meat cutter. She's a butcher. So if you ask her, does she miss the business world? No. She doesn't. She's just like, I've worked in an office. I worked for Humana. I worked for these insurance companies. I worked for, different financial products and services and companies. And she would tell you she doesn't miss it. She was good. She was a good producer. So, and sales. Remember, everything at the end of the day is about sales and reinvestment. Understanding profit margin, profit reinvestment, overhead. All of these things. Increased stock. Are you looking to? How are you looking to increase revenue versus capital? Right. Take a look at those things. Be a student. Even if you don't go to college, be a student. Don't know what to tell you, Mark. How am I supposed to teach you? You got to teach yourself, man. You got to teach yourself. You got to teach yourself. So there you have it. Anyways, I'm going to take a break because I have about an hour and a half to reset, which everything looks good. We're on schedule. Should have my regalia by the end of the week. Everything. I should also be getting another piece of my jewelry for my machinist. I should also be able to get 2 more pieces, at least 2 or 3 more pieces of my gear. I also have to do my raid tonight. So I need still the feet. And I think that's it. Yeah, I just need the feet. And then I need the wrists, the neck, and the earrings. And then this dude will be ready. And then by the time my red mage gets up, I don't need to get gear for him. And then I can work on getting gear for the dragoon. And then finish leveling the AST. So, looks good. He looks good. We're kind of doing what we got to do. Okay? So once again, I want to thank everybody. Like, listen, I'm staying with the game that's going to perform. What company who's going to give me the quality for my purchase, right? Think about all the different microtransactions flooding the market in single-player games, man. We were just talking about that this morning between, MK10 and MK11. The differences, the big differences moving in with microtransactions. We looked at all of these things that are the companies, and it's not the production company. It's not the studio, right? It's the publishers. And I keep trying to tell people, in the next 5 years, this is why publishing is going to be an almost obsolete, because there are things going on with distribution companies pushing indies, right? And distribution companies now are getting involved with more indie projects, cutting out what? The publication, right? So if you don't need a publisher, right, to market the game you're producing, that leaves more money for the distribution and for the development, and it makes publication obsolete. And I keep trying to say this over and over again. Publication needs to be a little wary about their business model. Because now their business model that they're opting for is aggravating consumers. And now if you're aggravating the consumer, you're going to lose your publication or being able to represent that company. And we see that with the Destiny IP. We see so many things going on with companies disassociating themselves from their publisher. And I guarantee you, by the end of probably in 2 years, Blizzard will either be completely integrated with Activision, or Blizzard will finally cut ties against Activision. It is going to come down to one of those two things. And why? Because publication is going to be obsolete. It's just going to be completely redundant, rhetorical. It's not even going to have a significance moving forward in the video game market within the next 5 years. Why? It's just the tech world, man. It's just how advanced things are getting, and distribution companies want more piece of the pie, but giving the developers the more leeway. Publication was good for initial investment, but even distribution companies now are going to taking over that role, like literally between startups and distribution investment, depending on, indie development, we can see this moving forward. And it's cutting out the middleman. Just cutting out the middleman. Everybody's going direct. Sooner, and it's good business for everybody. It's good business for the distribution. It's good business for the consumer. It's good business for developers. And guess what? Publication no longer can start dictating its requirements to to the developers. And this is the way it's going to go, man. It's going to move in this direction moving forward. It's going to take probably another 2 or 3 years before we see this really unravel, but it's going to happen. I can guarantee you that. And is it a trend? No, it's not a trend. It's just the way the market, what direction the market's moving. And once again, you have to pay attention, but hey, man, what do I know? Good luck, man. I appreciate it. But there you go, Mark II. I had my broker license. I used to study stocks. Good luck, man. All right, once again, I'm Mr. Craven. This is Mystics MMOs. Thank you guys for watching. Once again, always, have a nice day.